Our next speaker is David Hum. David is currently a second-year student in the Library and Information Technician program at Seneca College. Born and raised in Toronto, Canada, David travels during the summer to California. David has worked as a student assistant at Seneca Library's Technical Services Department and completed his first library placement at the University Health Network. He immensely enjoyed every second of both jobs. His favorite aspect about working in the library is helping people find information, and he also enjoys the orderly and peaceful environment of the library. In his free time, David enjoys jogging and web browsing. For school activities, David plays table tennis and basketball at the school gym and socially interacts with other members of the StarCraft II club at Seneca. Expecting to graduate in 2013, David looks forward to working in the library field, and we look forward to your talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Good evening. My name is David Hum, and my presentation topic is on how academic libraries can stay relevant and thrive. So to start off, I'd like to point out three clear challenges that they're faced with right now. First, I think there are web resources that are readily available, such as Google Scholar, emerging trends in technology, and students are unwilling to use the library. All of these challenges may result in less library usage, which may lead to less funding for academic libraries over time. So to start off, Google Scholar. Talking about Google Scholar first, in today's information age, the internet has become an extensively used tool which many people rely upon for information. The same holds true for students searching for information to complete an essay or assignment. Searching Google is extremely convenient and fast compared to going to the library and asking a reference staff for help. And now with Google Scholar, students can search for a broad range of scholarly literature in just one click. So how do we address this? We go with the flow, acknowledge that Google has some usefulness in some areas, while advising students the benefits of library databases. Searching Google is, Before I started my program at Seneca, I had no clue about search operators, and I only used the phrase searching, and I thought that was good enough, but I was very wrong. Wildcards, truncation, and other search operators used are very helpful in helping me search for information. So I think there are really good tools that you can teach students about Google that they can use. And maybe even have workshops or tutorials on how to search efficiently with Google. During the lessons, you could do a comparison between Google and the databases that your library are subscribed to, compare the advantages and the disadvantages of using both. Next would be new trends in technology. Nearly 1 in 3 Canadians are smartphone users. Students like using their cell phones, that's a fact. Many students also enjoy accessing information through their mobile device. Once again, we go back to convenience. You can carry your tablet or smartphone anywhere, use it anytime, and have access to a web with Wi-Fi or a data plan. Academic libraries must adapt to the change in how information is accessed. So it's a given that you should make your resources mobile compatible. And chances are students are more likely to access the resource if they are mobile compatible because it gives them other options to view them. But there's also another trend that I'd like to talk about, which is social networking, which academic libraries should take advantage of. Social networking. Yes, a student may look up information and other things on their mobile device, but when we actually get down and serious to doing our homework, we'd use a computer, laptop, or a pen and paper. Students often use their mobile device to quickly check Facebook, Twitter, and other social networking sites. Therefore, academic libraries should work with their institution on social networking sites. Using Seneca College and Seneca Libraries as an example, Seneca College Twitter account has only retweeted Seneca Libraries once since the start of the school year. And Seneca Libraries has more tweets than Seneca College. Yet Seneca College has 16 times the amount of followers that Seneca Library Twitter account has. So there's no reason not to retweet Seneca Libraries once in a while to just get the news out for 2 more followers. Because it just gets it out to more people. This concept also applies to other social networking sites too, not just Twitter. Current trends also point towards an increase in mobile device users, so academic libraries should definitely take advantage of social networking sites by working with their institution. And just an example of how powerful Twitter can be, the Public Library of Charlotte-Mecklenburg County began a campaign using Twitter with a goal of raising $2 million. They fell short and they only raised $200,000, but they did that in a 1-week period, which is still very impressive. The third challenge would be, I'd say, library anxiety. Staff must realize that the biggest obstacle which stops students from using the library is the students themselves. If they don't feel comfortable doing something, they most likely wouldn't. So what don't students do when they have library anxiety? They don't ask questions, and if questions aren't asked, then library staff can't be of help. So a simple solution would be, I'd say, encourage question asking. Library staff should encourage students to ask questions. There will always be students that won't approach a library staff to ask questions because of library anxiety. So students with library anxiety are so intimidated by the library that they'd avoid using the library altogether. It can be intimidating using the library. I've been there myself. You'd be fearful of not knowing something and start thinking of many other things, making a very awkward and uncomfortable situation for yourself. Another thing you can do is work with your teaching faculty. Tell them to encourage their students to ask questions, because research has showed that the most common reason why students look for help at the library was because their professor encouraged them to do so. Other ideas to ease library anxiety. Sorry, I mixed it around. Okay, offering library tours. The only time I've heard of library tours being offered were during Frosh Week and Reading Week. There's no reason not to have more frequent tours of the library. Library tours can help students ease anxiety by simply showing them where things are located. Even having virtual library tours would be a good idea if it's not feasible to have frequent library tours in person. And roving reference. Employ a staff to walk around your library to greet students. Ask them if they need help and put a staff presence somewhere else other than at the desk. It would certainly make things easier for someone with library anxiety being approached rather than approaching the desk for help. And class visits. If students are unwilling to come to you, why not go to them? Take the opportunity to encourage students to use the library and give an overview of the resources that your library offers. Also, you can hand out pamphlets or bookmarks or whatever reading materials that you want students to read on about your library. So to recap, how academic libraries can stay relevant and thrive. Keep up with the latest web resources. Keep up with the latest trends in technology. Students will have more interest if things can be accessed conveniently for themselves. Also, academic libraries can thrive by getting their news out by social networking sites. Encourage your employees to like your library or follow you on Facebook. Retweet your library tweets also. You can tell them to do that. Get as many people as you can involved. Social networks and mobile devices are becoming more popular each day. You can also get the teaching faculty involved. I'm sure most professors would like their students to do well, so ask them to encourage their students to seek help at the library. And lastly, move away from your traditional work areas. Do class visits, events outside of the library to attract students and let them know what your library can do for them. And that's the end of my brief presentation. I hope you've enjoyed hearing my thoughts about how academic libraries can stay relevant and thrive.